What if I told you your muscles don't matter if your mind stays weak? Let that sink in for a second. You can spend hours in the gym, sculpting your biceps, pushing your legs to the brink, chasing that perfect six-pack. But when life throws you storms, heartbreak, failure, rejection, your body won't save you. It's your mind that stands between you and the edge. The greatest tragedy is that so many people obsess over the body they see in the mirror, yet they leave their mindset malnourished and fragile. And when the real tests arrive, the ones with no crowd, no trophies, no applause, their shredded physique means nothing if their inner world is soft. Napoleon Hill wrote, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve." But how can you achieve anything if your mind quits at the first sign of pain? The truth is simple. Your body can only go where your mind is strong enough to lead it. And the strongest people you admire, the warriors, the athletes, the entrepreneurs who outlast failure, all have one thing in common. They train their mindset with the same ruthless consistency they train their body. Look at any champion. They don't just lift iron. They lift the weight of self-doubt daily. They don't just run marathons on the road. They run mental marathons when the world is asleep. They understand the gym is just the arena. The real fight happens in the dark corners of their mind. The sets and reps build their body, but it's the mindset that gets them to the gym when it rains, when they're sore, when nobody would blame them for skipping. That is what you must build if you want to be unbreakable. And how do you start? You start by seeing your mind as a muscle, one that needs tension, stress, and recovery to grow stronger. You embrace discomfort instead of avoiding it. You run toward the thoughts that scare you instead of hiding behind distractions. You choose clarity over chaos. You stop negotiating with your feelings every morning, because feelings are liars. Discipline is truth. Your mindset is shaped in the moments when you want to quit but decide to go one more round. It's carved when you hold the line against your own excuses. Every time you do what you said you would do, especially when your body screams no, you cast a vote for the strongest version of yourself. This is how you rewire your subconscious, with evidence, not empty motivation. So let me ask you, are you still treating your mindset like an afterthought while spending hours sculpting a shell that can't stand without it? Or will you flip the script and start working out your mind with the same discipline, the same clarity, the same ruthless commitment you give your body? Because if you do, one day you'll stand unshaken while others crumble. One day you'll walk through storms that break the ordinary. And that day begins the moment you decide your mind deserves more reps than your biceps ever will. Your feelings are like weather, but your discipline must be the mountain that never moves. Most people fail to build a mindset stronger than their body because they never learn to tame their emotions. They get a taste of progress. 1 week of waking up early, 1 month of hitting the gym, a season of relentless hustle. Then the feelings come. The voice says, "It's too hard, you're tired, you've earned a break." And just like that, all the sets and reps they've banked dissolve in an ocean of excuses. Napoleon Hill called it drifting. That subtle slide back into mediocrity when you stop steering your mind, and your emotions unchecked are the undertow that pulls you under. The man who builds an unbreakable mindset treats his feelings like data, not commands. He notices them, but he does not bow to them. He understands the mind loves comfort. It will whisper lies to keep you safe. But comfort kills ambition faster than failure ever will. Think about it. In the gym, your muscles grow under tension. The burn is a sign you're forcing adaptation. The same is true for your mind. Fear, doubt, insecurity, these are your mental lactic acid. They hurt. They make you want to stop. But if you push through them, you carve new pathways in your brain. You build evidence that you can act in spite of chaos. So how do you train this? You build the daily habit of doing what must be done, especially when you feel the opposite. You hold your promises sacred, not because you feel motivated, but because your identity demands it. This is how you shift from being a slave to your moods to becoming a master of your reality. You see, the man who commands his emotions commands his destiny. He doesn't suppress his feelings. He channels them. Anger becomes fuel. Fear becomes a compass pointing to where he needs to grow. Doubt becomes the door he must kick down. This is the real workout, the invisible reps in your head that no one applauds but everyone notices when your results appear. Imagine your mind as an untrained beast, wild, stubborn, rebellious. Each time you sit with your discomfort instead of running, you tame it. Each time you do the hard thing while your mind screams for the easy path, you train it. And the more you train it, the quieter the rebellion becomes. One day, the storm inside you will come. It always does. The difference is, when that storm hits, you won't bend. While others crumble at the first gust of wind, you'll stand rooted, because you've done the hidden reps no one saw. So I ask you, will you keep letting your emotions lift heavier than your willpower, or will you master them until they obey your highest standard? The strongest mindset isn't built in the spotlight. It's forged when no one's clapping. You can't build a mindset stronger than your body without discipline. Motivation is a spark, but discipline is the engine that keeps you moving when the spark fades. Ask anyone who's ever transformed themselves inside and out. They'll tell you the truth nobody wants to hear, that it's boring, repetitive, and brutally unglamorous. Napoleon Hill wrote, "Self-discipline begins with the mastery of your thoughts, but mastery doesn't happen by accident, it happens by design." Think about the gym. You don't get stronger by doing one rep when you feel good. You grow by pushing through that final rep when your muscles scream for relief. The same law governs your mind. You don't train it once a year with a weekend seminar. You train it every day with promises made and promises kept. Discipline is your invisible contract with yourself. It's the silent vote you cast every morning when your alarm rings. Will you get up or hit snooze? Will you keep your word or negotiate with your excuses? Every tiny decision is a brick laid in the fortress of your identity. Most people don't realize this until it's too late. They think small lies don't matter. I'll skip the workout just this once. I'll break the diet for one meal. I'll push that project to tomorrow. But the subconscious mind remembers. And the man who breaks promises to himself in private loses his power in public. David Goggins didn't become Goggins because he loved pain. He became Goggins because he fell in love with keeping the promises he made in the dark. That's the essence of discipline beyond motivation. It's not about being superhuman. It's about showing up every day for the standards you set when you were clear-headed and strong. Discipline is sticking to those standards when you're tired, discouraged, and tempted by the easy way out. So, how do you train it? Start small. Pick one promise so simple your mind can't argue. Wake up on time. Do the push-ups you said you'd do. Write for 10 minutes daily. Keep that promise for 30 days. No excuses. Your mind will test you. It will beg for negotiation. That's your moment of growth. That's your final rep. And when you slip because you will, don't let one miss become your new standard. Hold the line. Never break the chain twice. Discipline isn't about never falling. It's about always rising, faster each time. Understand this. The world will test your words. It will poke holes in your confidence. It will throw storms at your plans. If your discipline is weak, the world will break you. But if your discipline is iron, you will bend the world to your will. So ask yourself, what promises are you willing to make and keep when no one is watching? Because that is the measure of the man or woman you're becoming. A foggy mind produces a foggy life, but a clear mind slices through any storm. If discipline is the backbone of an unbreakable mindset, then clarity is the blade that keeps you sharp. Too many people drown in effort, yet go nowhere because they don't know what they're really after. They lift the weight, run the miles, grind the hours, but their energy scatters like a flashlight in the dark. They think busyness equals progress. It doesn't. Progress demands precision. Napoleon Hill wrote, "Definiteness of purpose is the starting point of all achievement." Goggins knew this. Champions know this. Your subconscious mind needs clear orders, not vague wishes. The difference is everything. I want to get in shape is a wish. I will run 5 miles at 5 a.m. every day for 90 days is a command. Your mind obeys what you make non-negotiable. Clarity is what makes your discipline worth it. Without it, your willpower drifts. You become a slave to distractions. the small urgencies that scream louder than your deepest goals. The man who knows exactly what he wants can look the world in the eye and say no to what doesn't fit. That is strength, and that is rare. How do you sharpen your clarity? First, sit alone with your truth. Ask yourself, what do I truly want? Why do I want it? What am I willing to suffer for to make it real? Most people fear these questions because they reveal how often they lie to themselves. But this is the mental gym you must enter, the uncomfortable place where excuses die. Once you find your true target, you must guard it like a soldier at the gate. Write it down, speak it out loud. Burn it into your mind every morning and every night. Clarity fades if you don't reinforce it. You can't expect to hold the line when you let the noise of the world drown your standards. The mind obeys repetition, so feed it your purpose until it can't forget. Clarity also protects you from sabotage, especially the sabotage that comes disguised as good opportunities. You'll be tempted by shortcuts, by applause, by comfortable distractions that feel productive but aren't aligned. When your goal is clear, your decision-making becomes ruthless. You start saying, this fits, keep it. This doesn't, cut it. This mental pruning keeps your energy flowing in one direction instead of 1,000. Picture this. Your body is the vehicle, discipline is the engine, but clarity is the steering wheel. You can have a Ferrari engine under the hood, but if you don't know where you're driving, you'll burn fuel going in circles. That's the sad reality for so many. Strong bodies, weak direction, wasted years. So remember, every rep you do in the gym is magnified when you know exactly why you're doing it. Every early morning, every discipline choice compounds when you can see where you're going. The mind sharpens itself against a clear target. So ask yourself now, is your purpose crystal clear, or are you still hoping you'll figure it out someday? Someday is not a day of the week. Clarity is a decision. Decide now, and keep deciding every single day. You are not what you think you are. You are what your subconscious mind accepts as true. You can build your body with weights and sweat, but if you never rewire the hidden machinery behind every choice, your subconscious, you'll always snap back to who you've always been. That's why so many people make progress for a season, only to fall back into the same patterns. Their muscles grow, but their inner blueprint stays the same. Napoleon Hill understood this better than most. Any idea, plan, or purpose may be placed in the mind through repetition of thought. Your subconscious mind is not rational, it is obedient. It listens to what you feed it the most. If you constantly whisper doubt, negativity, and excuses to yourself, you carve deep grooves of weakness. But when you feed it the language of discipline, self-respect, and clarity over and over, you install new programming that becomes your default response when storms hit. Think of it this way. Every rep you do in the gym builds muscle memory. The more you squat, the smoother the movement becomes. The same law applies to your mind. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, wake up on time, finish the run, stick to the plan, you are training your subconscious to obey your highest standard, not your lowest impulse. How do you actually do this? Start by paying attention to your self-talk. Your mind is always listening, even when you think it isn't. When you say, I'm tired, I can't do this, it's too hard, you're giving your subconscious permission to stay weak. Cut it. Replace it with precise, powerful commands. I do hard things, I keep my word, I train when I'm tired because my mind is stronger than my body. Then, visualize your target, not just the highlight reel, but the pain, the obstacles, the nights when you want to quit. See yourself moving through it anyway. Athletes, warriors, leaders, they all use this tool because the mind doesn't distinguish vividly imagined reality from physical reality. What you see inside, you move toward outside. But here's the part most miss. You must back it up with action. If you visualize greatness but keep betraying your own word, you are programming your subconscious to believe you're a liar. The gap between what you say and what you do must close, or your mindset will never hold under pressure. Protect this mental garden like your life depends on it, because it does. Cut off seeds of doubt that others plant. Refuse to let negative, lazy, fearful people camp in your mind rent-free. Your environment feeds your subconscious too. Books, videos, conversations, habits. You become what you absorb. In the end, The man who rewires his subconscious for strength and clarity never needs motivation to act again. He becomes the kind of person who simply does what must be done. No hype, no fanfare. Just quiet, unstoppable execution. So ask yourself now, are you feeding your subconscious with excuses or with proof that you are who you say you are? Your mind is like a garden. If you do not guard its gates, weeds will strangle your strongest seeds. Too many people think their mindset is an island. They believe if they just work harder, grind more, read another quote, they can overcome anything, even when they live in an environment that quietly sabotages them every single day. But the truth is, the strongest mindset in the world will rot if you keep planting it in toxic soil. Napoleon Hill warned, "You will become the average of the people you associate with the most." Think about that. You could do 1,000 reps in the gym, meditate every morning, repeat your affirmations until your throat goes dry. But if you spend your nights listening to complainers, gossipers, or quitters, you're pouring poison on your subconscious mind. That's not a maybe, that's a guarantee. Look around. Who challenges you to level up? Who calls you out when you drift? Who makes you sharper just by being in the same room? The reality is most people tolerate energy leaks, those so-called friends who drain them with negativity, excuses, and small talk that goes nowhere. And then they wonder why their clarity fades and their discipline slips. Your physical environment matters too. A cluttered space breeds a cluttered mind. If your phone is your biggest distraction, it's not an accident that you check it 200 times a day. It's designed that way. A messy bedroom, a chaotic desk, and always on television. These are not harmless. They are the weeds that choke your mental garden while you're too busy pretending they don't exist. Goggins knew this. Sometimes to become who you must be, you must outgrow the rooms you used to belong to. That means distance. That means ruthless honesty about who gets access to your mental space. You don't owe everyone your time. You owe your dream the best version of you. So, what does an empowering environment look like? It's not about perfection. It's about design. Surround yourself with triggers that feed your discipline, not your weakness. Hang your goals on your wall where you can't avoid them. Keep your space clean. Order outside helps create order inside. Curate what you listen to and watch. Feed your subconscious with messages that reinforce your standard, not numb it. And guard your circle like your life depends on it. One powerful conversation can strengthen your resolve more than 10 motivational videos. One friend who tells you the truth is worth more than 100 who tell you what you want to hear. Most people drift through life hoping to stay motivated while living in a swamp of distractions. Don't be like them. Be deliberate. Build an environment that trains you in silence, one that holds you to your highest standard even when you're tempted to drop it. So ask yourself right now, are you training in a temple of growth or a swamp of excuses? What needs to change in your space, your circle, your daily inputs to make your mindset stronger than your body will ever be? The man who commands his mind commands his destiny. It'll double. When this is all said and done, the weights lifted, the miles run, the hours worked, what remains is the story you've carved into your character. Your body will change with time. Muscles fade, trophies gather dust, applause moves on to the next big thing. But the mindset you forge will outlive all of that. It is your real legacy. Napoleon Hill wrote, "The ladder of success is never crowded at the top." Why? Because most people never train their minds to handle what the top demands. They crave the reward but can't endure the silence, the storms, the lonely mornings when no one cheers. They mistake hype for discipline, and when life tests them, and it will, they collapse under the weight of their own excuses. You are not here to be one of those people. You are here because deep down you know your mind must be stronger than your body ever will be. You know storms will come, heartbreak, betrayal, failure, doubt, but you will stand when others bend. You will keep your word when no one would blame you for quitting. You will train your mind every single day until the world recognizes you not for what you look like, but for the standard you embody. How do you know you've become that standard? It's not the cars or the cash or the compliments. It's the way people shift when you walk into a room. It's the way your presence reminds them that they too are capable of more. Your mindset becomes permission for others to rise. Your discipline becomes proof that excuses are lies. And you, the silent warrior who does the mental reps when no one is watching, become an unstoppable force in a world of drifting souls. So keep building. Keep writing your standard in stone. Guard your environment, feed your subconscious with the words you live by, and protect your clarity like it's the only compass you have, because it is. Master your emotions like wild horses. Ride them. Don't let them drag you. And remember, discipline is not what you do when you feel like it, it's what you do when you'd rather run. One day, when you look back on these days of sweat and struggle, you will realize that the greatest flex was never the body you built. It was the mind you forged in the dark. That mind will carry you through storms your younger self could never survive. That mind will raise families, build empires, stand tall when the world tries to break you. That mind is your true masterpiece. So I ask you, for the final time in this journey, will you keep treating your mindset like an afterthought, or will you train it every single day until it becomes the strongest muscle you'll ever own? Because in the end, the iron fades, the mirror changes, but your mindset, your unbreakable standard, is what the world will remember long after you're gone. The choice is yours. The reps begin now.